Welcome to the business of being healthy, where we are passionate about treating our health as good as we treat our wealth. Shelly Bryan here, and I am obsessed with sharing real-life experiences and wisdom to help save you time, heartache, and money as you continue to grow personally and professionally. Twice a week, we push aside that BS to take massive intentional action. And I promise by tuning in, you will receive the straightforward talk you've been waiting for, filled with actionable steps that will inspire you to achieve the health and wealth you desire while you are building your empire. All right, well, I hope that you are joining in today because maybe the title sparked a little interest. I get questions often. I get them on social media. I specifically get them out when I'm with friends or colleagues. They would always look and be like, what is Shelly ordering? I want to know what Shelly's ordering. That's what I'm going to do. And so I thought I would jump on here today and just share what I eat in a day as a business owner, as a mom, as someone that is truly passionate about using my health to create my greatest wealth. I have been on a health journey for over a decade now. I've competed in competitions, which was a great experience, let me say that, but not a healthy way to eat. However, it taught me a significant amount about foods and how your body can react to different foods. But I have more of a real world approach. And this is what I used to coach. I don't do this coaching anymore. So I thought I would come on here and dedicate one show to literally what I eat in a day and how I kind of come up with this, because if you've been following along, I hate the word diet. That is like struck from vocabulary altogether. Probably one of my least favorite words. Well, I think moist is my least favorite word, but diet is right up there. And so I want to share this with you. That being said, I have 2 points. Number one, if you're ever out with somebody that maybe, leads a healthy life, looks good, you can see they have energy, and you're like curious on what they're doing, here's your permission slip to ask, because more often than not, they're so excited and passionate about it, they want to talk about it. And number two that I want to say before we dive in here is this is what works for me. So in no way am I recommending this is how you should eat, this is what you should eat. I'm just sharing what works for me in hopes that it inspires you to not only take nutrition seriously, but also realize it's not that hard. I know because of diet culture, it can seem like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. I have to do that. Restrict this. I have to count and I have to weigh and I have to think about. I am going to hopefully share everything that I kind of do today to take that weight off your shoulders and be like, wow, it's really not that hard. I can do this too. If Shelly's doing it, trust me. If I am doing it, and I was actually competing when I was traveling 70% of the time for work. I was literally on a plane every week, if not twice a week, and still able to do some form of nutrition. Now that was highly restrictive. What I have now is more of a maintenance phase. And I will tell you, it is 100% true. Do not let anyone else tell you calories in versus calories out if you are in a healthy starting position. So there's hormones that come into it. There's gut health that comes into it. There's stress that comes into it. So your nutrition and how you eat can be affected by all of those things. So this is my maintenance. This is what I do day in and day out. I have tried so many diets. If you've been tuning in here, I've shared those. And so this is just my kind of every day. And just to, I hope you're following me on social media. If you're not, definitely come over, join me. LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram are my go-tos. You can see I share what I eat. I share how I eat it, oftentimes in the car. But I want to make it seem so easy because it really is. Now, one thing that I will share is that I am definitely a protein focused I'm protein focused when it comes to my nutrition. And again, this is just me, okay? I'm sharing you what I do and how I calculate it. Not calculate it, but how I come up with it in my head, because it's not that hard. You are oftentimes doing lots of these things, but you're pulling in all this like chatter from social media or your friends or your colleagues on like what you should or shouldn't do with eating. So mine, again, is more protein focused. It's protein focused for a few different reasons. Number one, I get comments all the time like, oh, Shelly, your arms. I can tell you right now, I'm not lifting or curling 30-pound dumbbells trying to like have good arms. No, all of my muscle, all of my strength is a direct result of my diet. Yes, I do lift, but it is a direct result of my diet because it is protein forward. That being said, I also include fats and carbs, okay? Another reason why I love protein is because as a woman, as we get older, osteoporosis is definitely an issue, and protein is going to help not only with your bones, but if you have stronger muscles too, that also protects your bones, okay? Having more protein is going to reduce my cravings. It helps me keep fuller longer. It lets me stay focused and not thinking about, oh my gosh, I am starving, I have to eat. So I do not calculate anything. I am going to share numbers to help you kind of see what I have done over the years, right? Over the last decade to make it really easy for me. But I do not calculate now. And in fact, I have calculated, I have weighed, I have done all of that, and it is a miserable life. That being said, again, it did teach me a lot. So if you're new, that might be what you need to do for a little bit, but I always recommend having like a start time that you're going to like calculate or weigh and an end time. Like learn it so you don't have to do it forever. So starting at, I weigh about 125-ish pounds. It depends on how much fun I had over the weekend. But my goal is to get 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So I want to have about 125 grams of protein per day. So if I'm playing the game here, I'm thinking, okay, I used to do 5 meals a day. Now I do really 4 meals and dessert, because we always need to have some form of dessert. Like give me a little woo woo if you're with me on that. But I typically have 4 meals a day. So if I think about that, 125 grams of protein, 4 meals a day, that is about just over 31 grams of protein per meal. Okay, this is all going to make sense. I know I'm going through the numbers, but I just want you to kind of think about this. So I know, and you can look this up like MyFitnessPal, there's other apps on your phone or on just surfing the web on how many grams of protein per ounce of protein, right, that you get. So I know from experience, and sharing this with you here now, is that I do about 4 ounces of an animal protein is about 20 to 25 grams of protein. So that's like good to know, right? Because, all right, I know that I am going to have 4 meals in my day. I need 31 grams per meal to hit my protein goal. So I know that 4 ounces, and if you're watching this on YouTube, 4 ounces, you could say on average, if you don't have Goliath hands, on average, 4 ounces is about the size of the palm of your hand, right? Now, thickness is going to play into it. But I know that I need about 31 grams. So I need almost like a palm and a half of protein in every meal, and I will naturally hit my protein goal for the day. Again, I don't calculate, I don't weigh anymore. This is just how I kind of estimate and make sure that I'm hitting my protein. Now, here's the kicker, is I know I'm hitting my protein because I'm not losing my strength, I'm not losing my muscle. If I was, then I would probably need to pay more attention to the exact amount of protein or actually push in another meal to get additional protein. But I know that because I feel that strength. And again, this is my maintenance, all right? So there's been times where I wanted to build muscle. I'm going to eat more. That means more protein, more carbs, more fat. It means more, right? And there are times that I'm like, hey, I want to trim it up. I'm going to tighten it up. That's the same thing like I started off saying, that this is a calories in, calories out type of a scenario is like, it is a direct result of the calories that you're eating is how you will either be in like a loss, maintenance, or a gain. And there's been different parts of my life that I've been in each and every one of those, even the gain. So that's, again, if you're totally like healthy and we don't have other things that are uncontrollable, like hormones going on. But I know when it comes to, I'm not even gonna share the calories. I want you to think about the amount of protein. And if you could hit 0.8 to 1 gram of protein, you're gonna hit the amount of protein that you need for your body to really function in a great way. So I'm gonna take you through kind of my day. But again, I'm sharing exactly what works for me, a few things that I've learned when it comes to eating healthy while going a million miles an hour. So let me share those first, because I'm sure if you're listening in here on the Business of Being Healthy, we're running businesses, leading teams, climbing corporate ladders, being the best freaking mom or parent out there. And here are a few takeaways is that for me, I must be able to eat the meal in my car, because where we live, I do a lot of driving. So I must be able to eat the meal in my car. I must be able to assemble it quickly. And I want to make sure that I keep my choices low, because this is about getting the nutrition in to fuel my body based upon the output that I have for the day. So I'm running a million miles an hour, like most of us, right? We have our construction business, the horses, the kids, the podcast, all of the things going on, and the teams that we have. I'm sure you are too. So I needed all of those things I just listed to make sure that it would be a success for me. And here's the thing, when it comes to keeping choices low, you may not realize this, but I bet if you tracked what you ate in a day, you're basically eating the same thing every single day anyway. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I need variety, I need this. I need fuel. And so I want to keep my choices low so that the decision is easy for me to stick with it and move on throughout my day, keep my fuel high, my energy high, so that I can perform at a really high level. So for me, I have 2 choices when it comes for breakfast. This is all that I have. I have this, just so you know, parents out there, I kind of have this similar setup for the kids. Now, I don't go into this much detail with them, but they are in a similar, it's a slightly different, but a similar breakfast. They have 2 options. This is what we have every day, and we go. So I will do oatmeal, and then I'll put a scoop of whey protein in my oatmeal, plus some other toppings like some peanut butter, maybe some berries. So I'm getting my protein, carbs, and fat all in one. The other option that I have is I do 3/4 cup of egg whites and 1 whole egg, and I have these little gluten-free bagels, or you could do like a slice of toast with some type of spread. Again, there's my carbs, fat, and protein. Notice I said the word carbs. Okay, we are eating carbs and we are eating fat. The reason why I focus on protein is because of all the reasons that I mentioned before. But I know, and you'll hear me as I list out the rest of the day, is that if I hit my protein, and I know everything else is going to fall in there. Because if I just eat protein, it's not enough calories and it's really not enough nutrients for my body. But when I focus on the protein and I add in the other items, like I said, like the oatmeal with the berries, and I add a little peanut butter, that's my fat, all of it will all come together and give me my caloric intake that I need to perform at a high level for the day. But I start with protein. So again, breakfast, those are my 2 go-tos. Decision is made, I'm out the door. Literally eating in my car. Okay. Lunch, I do 6 ounces of a lunch meat. I love like the boar's head chicken breast. That's my favorite. I'll do 5 ounces of wild tuna, very, very important, and leftovers. So leftovers, and I'll get more about this in dinner, but I'll have leftovers. So leftover chicken, leftover taco meat, leftover shrimp, leftover salmon. Oh, I love salmon tacos for lunch. So I will, again, focus on about 6 ounces, 5 to 6 ounces. So again, think about it. I'm like the palm of my hand and a half. So I need 1.5 palms of protein and then whatever else I'm going to have with it. So for lunch, like I said, the lunch meat, if I do lunch meat, I typically have a couple of rice cakes. I'll spread some hummus on it, lay my lunch meat on top. I'm good to go, ready to walk out the door, which is often, again, what I'm doing. The tuna I will mix with some other veggies like cucumbers, tomatoes, pickles. I don't do mayo. Don't ever feed me mayo if I come to your house. Please. Gross. But if you like mayo, just know that is your fat if you're going to use it. And then the leftovers, it depends. Like I eat a lot of tacos. I eat a lot of just chicken with some veggies on the side and maybe some hummus. Maybe a Kind bar. I will have that. Those are my go-tos. So I always have lunch meat in my fridge. I always have tuna and then my leftovers from my protein. And leftovers is dinner. So you're going to hear that. Around 3 o'clock-ish, I get hungry again. So that is my snack time. And at snack, I have my protein shake, which I use First Form protein. That is my favorite protein that I have used over the last decade. And I'll put a link in there. Now, here's a pro tip for you when it comes to protein. 1, you want to have the few amount of ingredients into it. 2, you want to buy 2 different flavors. So I always have chocolate and vanilla on hand. So chocolate is the one that I drink. I actually make into a shake. Just mix it with a scoop of water. It'll be like a post-workout. It'll be my snack at 3 o'clock. That being said, I always have vanilla because you heard me. I started with breakfast. One of my options is protein powder in my oatmeal. So I have vanilla protein that I mix into the oatmeal. So the pro tip there is buy the 2 flavors, like buy the one you want to drink and always have vanilla on hand. And I love the First Form. I make Rice Krispies treats with it. I put it in my yogurt. I put it in my oatmeal, like I said. It's just so great to have on hand. And 1 scoop is about 20-ish grams. So keep that in mind. So snack, like I said, protein shake. I'll have a Greek yogurt and I'll put a half a scoop of vanilla First Form protein in there. Again, I'll put the link down there. Those are my favorite protein. I'll have some cottage cheese. Again, hitting that protein. And then sometimes, I know it's weird, but I'm telling you guys right now, I love taking pickles and then I wrap ham slices around it. It's so good. So that is something that I would have, like a little crunch, a little protein. I'm good to go. So that is my snack. Then dinner is something, gosh, I love dinners because today's Tuesday when I'm recording this, we do Taco Tuesday. So one thing I love to mention here is that providing dinner for your family is something that makes me feel really good. And I used to do the meal prep on Sunday for hours, literally my whole Sunday. And I just kind of got over it. I want to spend the time with my family. I don't want to spend the time cooking. So what I changed is I actually cook more dinner. I cook over what we need as a family. So I for sure have the leftovers so that Chris and I can take those when we're out in our day managing projects, working with the kids, everything. So dinner is very important. I am going to say on here, I'm going to put a link in this. I actually created a very easy dinner guide for entrepreneurs and busy business owners to make it so simple to lay out your dinner plan for the week. This is my exact way that I do it, literally. So I will tease on there that I always do chicken on Monday and I make a lot of chicken because we can use that in salads, wraps, just with some veggies, like I said, on the go. Chris can just eat it out of the bag in the car. We just keep it easy. So I will leave that link below. I would highly recommend you guys grab that absolutely free tool, but it lines out what I do for dinner. But it's always protein forward. And then I have that extra protein for other meals the rest of the week. Last but not least, dessert. You gotta have dessert. I mean, why wouldn't you? Now, for me, dessert is berries. So I love berries. They're high in fiber, lower sugar. It's still sugar. At the end of the day, your body is going to process it as sugar, okay? but it has the added benefit of fiber, and you can eat a little bit more, right? Like rather than a handful of M&Ms, have like a handful of raspberries. So much better anyway. I'll do half a banana with a little bit of peanut butter. And if I didn't hit my protein goal for the day, I'll put the berries over some Greek yogurt to hit a little bit extra protein as my dessert. So again, I share this just as what has worked for me. This is what I eat in a day. I am protein forward. I make sure to have about 6 ounces of protein. That's your palm and a half every single meal throughout your day. And it's just what's focused. It's just what's worked for me. Now, throughout that, you could hear I talk a lot about protein. I add in lots of vegetables. I love vegetables. I feel good when I eat vegetables. My fats are typically like an olive oil, depending upon the protein, right? Salmon is a higher fat protein than shrimp. So I know that I'm getting my fats there. I love good old Irish butter, such a great fat. And then I always make sure to eat my carbs because my carbs are my energy. So you could hear the berries, the bagels, the rice cakes, even a slice of bread, the oatmeal. These are all types of carbs that are going to give me energy. And I know that if I hit that 6-ish grams, right, palm and a half of protein at every single meal, because I have 4 meals throughout a day, I know I hit my protein goal, and then everything else that I'm eating with it will give me my full caloric intake that I need for the day. I love vegetables because of the extra fiber. Think dark green vegetables, right, are your best friend for the most fiber out there, but you can eat other things. I eat carrots. I love carrots, bell peppers. I eat all of those. And one thing, gosh, there's going to be lots of links in this episode, guys, but you're going to want to go down. I am also going to link in Gut Personal. I do their red and greens as well as the Miracle Worker. It has been a game changer. So the gut greens, when you are eating healthy, the healthier you keep your gut, the better that your body can use the fuel that you are giving it to be able to perform at a high level. So this is an easy way to make sure that I get my greens and my reds in, as well as take care of my magnesium, which helps me sleep better. So all of these things are what I do every single day to be able to hit my protein goal, to be able to fuel my body, to be able to perform at a very high level in all of the positions that I hold, right? Business owner, mom, podcast host, cowgirl, like all of the things, it's about that nutrition. So I hope that this episode just kind of helped shed a little light. You might want to go back, listen to it a little slower, I took you through all the meals. Definitely download the dinner guide. You guys, you'll never hear what's for dinner again if you implement this. I also will add in the links for First Form, love their protein, and Gut Personal. Seriously, that has been a game changer product for me. If you love this, please share, right? If you hear like the water cooler talk about diets and what to eat, share this episode, make it easy for everybody. And of course, don't forget, if you loved it, shoot me a DM. I'd love to hear your insights. And if there's anything else you want to know, or someone you want me to interview, let me know there as well. Because here on the show, we are in the business of being healthy.